Okay, so my dishwasher's running in the background, but this is a video response to Apollo Legend. He made a video not too long ago talking about that the speedrun community needs more content creators, and immediately I wanted to make a video response to this because I kind of have a few ideas that actually I've been telling people the same thing, sort of, but no one's ever heard of me, so therefore it doesn't get out there. But you know, Apollo, I'll be honest with you, I've been following your videos ever since you've been talking about like AGDQ and all that and all this, you know, all these just general subjects, and I'll be honest, man, I agree 100%. It's really crazy, like, what's been happening to the speedrun community, and, you know, there's always improvements, but, you know, let's look at the positive side of it. You know, like, for example, my ideas would be, you know, I think we should translate some games, because, I mean, I translate stuff for people, Japanese games mostly, but the thing I've noticed is that there are some games that don't even have any speedruns. Not even people in Japan have speedrun some of these games, and there's, like, no world records or anything of them. For example, I'll list a few of my favorite games. Like, for example, if you're an Agaris fan, there's a game that was called, like, The Record of Agaris Marriage. That's what it translates to for the PlayStation Portable. But the problem is, though, you know, I mean, it's a long game, yes, but, like, it would be really interesting to, like, just make it. It's a really good game, like, overall, but it's, like, you know, and another one, like, you know, if you're a Tales fan, like, you know, Tales of Rebirth, for example, was another Tales game that was never localized out of Japan. It was made by Namco Bandai, or it was made by Namco before it became Namco Bandai. And the idea is that, you know, some of these games, oh, actually, I'm not sure if Tales of Rebirth has a speed run. I'm sure somebody in Japan's probably done a speed run of it because that's a fun game. But, you know, my point is, there are games out there that, you see it all the time. A lot of people will say that, you know, like Legend of Zelda, Mario games are overdone because people play them. Makes sense. They're Japanese games. Shigeru Miyamoto was obviously on a roll when he came up with these games. But, you know, like, my idea is this, though. You know, these games never really would have been as popular if people didn't support them. You know, at some point, like, let's go back like 20 years ago, Nintendo really wasn't as big as it is now because, you know, it's got its fans and, you know, the timing of it's just built up. So, you know, we start something, you know, if we plant seeds in the ground now for, like, the future, you know, we could have an even bigger speedrun community, and maybe, and here's my other idea, you know, maybe we can try and put other games out there that, like, have a speedrun for at least one game of every single time. So, like, you know, maybe we don't have to speedrun them. I mean, I could translate them. But what I'm trying to say, though, is, you know, maybe we could get other games into, like, some sort of AGDQ that people have never even heard of. But, like, needless to say, like, the runner could, you know, because people, like, just to get an AGDQ or, you know, some sort of speedrunning group, you know, if you're going to have the runner do the speedrun, well, and they're going to know everything anyways, they might as well explain what's going on and encourage people to play these games so that way more people will know these games exist. You know, I mean, it's like you said, you know, we need more original content. We need more games that most people have never even heard of that would actually generate. I'm sure people would, you know, because that's the thing, you know, if you don't show it at AGDQ, or if you don't show it, like, at all, then it's like, you know, how are people even going to know it exists in the first place? You know, that's the thing that I've noticed. You know, if, like, for example, you look at AGDQ, if all they did was focus on the same games over and over again just to draw the same audience, I mean, sure, that works too, but, you know, but if you're not willing to give other games a chance, then really, in the end, it really doesn't work out that way. Because you're not really being fair to, like, all these other games people have never heard of. So, you know, I mean, of course there's always going to be, like, games out there that people have never heard of because they're just being created. It'd be like trying to explore the universe when it expands infinitely faster than any human being could realistically keep up with it. But what I'm just trying to get at, though, is, you know, I just think that, you know, just like you said, you know, content creators need to put more ideas out there that people could be inspired by, and the only way to do that is to be the first one to put it out there.